Gypsy Rose Blanchard might be in trouble because her past is coming to haunt her. And I'm not talking about her mother. We've already closed that chapter. I'm talking about her ex-husband, Ryan. Because Mr. Ryan Anderson is speaking out and revealing the truth about him and Jib Jib. Remember Gypsy and
What is up, y'all? We are back. It's been a while, but we don't even need to stay stuck on that. We are back. We are so back. And we're back talking about, of course, Gypsy Rose. You guys, let me know. Did the show start already? We'll have to look at that. I will find that out because I want to definitely get to the show. I want to make sure that I'm covering Gypsy Rose's show, I guess she has a reality TV show coming out. So I want to cover that. So let me know in the comments if that has already come out, and I'll look it up a little later. But so there must be something going on where Gypsy is getting exposed by her ex-husband, Ryan. Sloan always has the tea. He puts it together great. And why don't we analyze it in our way, with our psychological lens on, with our psychological assessing gears on. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Ryan tied the knot while she was incarcerated back in July 2022. In my personal opinion, I feel like Ryan has been a crutch for Gypsy. Now, I've never been in prison, and damn, I am not planning on going anytime soon. But yeah, I think she kind of used him as an emotional crutch. And once she got out, she started to realize that maybe he wasn't her dream man. Now, I feel like Gypsy is a really interesting person, not only because of her criminal past, but because of her lack of experience. She really spent her formative years locked up behind bars. So, operating in a romantic relationship isn't something she's well versed in.
Me and Gypsy, the love we have.
That is true, right? So, he's right about what he said too about her just kind of using him as a crutch. But I mean, when you're in jail, you don't have, this big list of men to choose from or anything like that, right? So you just have to go with what you got, right? And he came around and he was very supportive. It's a lot. Y'all know I've worked in the prison system, so I see how it goes: survival, the commissary, everything, how you have to, what you have to do to get food and all of that. So Ryan definitely was there for her around that time. But what happens? This is something that happens with a lot of people who come out of jail. They come out and they start to show out. And a lot of times the person who was supporting them while they were in jail gets left in the dust. So this isn't any different than what I've seen before.
Have for each other hasn't changed. It's just a lot of things have taken place. But love was never our issue.
So then what happened?
And just a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm still in processing. Still reflecting and trying to piece things together.
Ryan claims he's still processing the whirlwind marriage to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, saying he's trying to figure out what transpired. It happened 2 months ago. We were married, and now it's like I haven't seen her. Now, you guys...
By the way, guys, if you guys like this content that you're seeing now, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit like and hit the notification bell. On this channel, we talk about everything, all the headlines through a psychological assessing, but with the psychological assessment, mental health, right? And medical too, sometimes, because things like Ozempic have come up on his channel. So we talk about it all. And I think Ryan looks like he's on Ozempic. It's starting to come down. He might be possibly allegedly, in my opinion. So yeah, please don't forget to help me out with those buttons. Let's go ahead and get right back into it.
Can see the couple's marriage and their split playing out on her docuseries Life After Lockup, which I did watch the first episode, and in my personal opinion, her getting out of prison and having Ryan breathing down her neck would have driven me crazy too. I was watching my boyfriend, I was like, I can't get over how cringe it is that he won't let her have a second alone. He have touching on her and talking about getting intimate with her, and it's damn, she's been out of jail for 2 hours. She does not want to touch you. She wants to touch some French fries and feel some freedom and go on her phone and see what in the hell is going on in this world. Ryan claims they had a disagreement.
So let me help Sloan out just a little bit more, because Sloan is still a man. So I don't think he fully gets it. It's like this, right? That is true. Back up off of her, right? But I mean, let's keep it real. If he looked a certain way, let's say he was, and look, I'm not trying, we're speaking in reality here. We know what it is, right? If he looked like I don't know, like that guy who did the speech. That's not good enough. Guys, help me think of somebody. Geez, I don't know who's cute anymore in Hollywood. This is crazy. So anyway, well, if he was a different kind of looking guy, maybe like a Justin Timberlake back in my day, right? So that might have been a little different. Like she might have been clingy on him, because there's also another thing that she has been lacking for 8 years, and she might have been hype and ready to do that. So there's another aspect, another angle to look at this at, and I think he's missing that part of it. But anyway, if he was being overbearing, that can be a bit much. We will definitely have to watch that first episode. I'm gonna definitely have to watch it.
Agreement, and then she left and he hasn't seen her since. He said we were married 1 minute and the next she was gone. So he's trying to figure out what had happened.
One of her friends has alleged that
He's coming down. You can tell he's coming down. It's not just the goatee. He's probably on that drug. It's very easy to get now. Allegedly, in my opinion, and if I was him, I wouldn't be shocked, because this is going to be his come up. I get the last laugh kind of thing. Maybe that's what he's working on.
you got into Gypsy's face and you screamed at her. In your assessment, were you ever overly aggressive or physically threatening to her?
No, I've never physically threatened Gypsy at all. And she knows that. She's even said that. She's not afraid of me, and there's no reason to be.
Where would that come from?
I'm sure it was during our disagreement. Gypsy said some hurtful things, and I did get angry. I got upset,
But the thing about Ryan is that we kind of do know what happened. I mean, Gypsy sent one of her friends to go and speak to the media. Gypsy's friend, and I believe possibly her cousin, I'm not too sure, said that Ryan got in her face and screamed. Gypsy said that she was afraid that he was going to hit her. He didn't, but that happened in the past with her mother. So her first instinct was to tighten up and to be prepared. But she
Maybe we've already talked about that too in one of these episodes that I made about Gypsy Rose. It's like, okay, we're not going to pretend that Gypsy didn't go through a real crazy situation, right? But it is a good lifeline to go back to and be like, I remembered my mom when this was happening. Who knows if she got in his face as well? So I don't think that he would ever hurt her, believe it or not. I just don't. But I mean, like, you can't tell the future, but like, I just don't think that his main goal is to like really like put his hands on her, because that would have been the headline.
She got to safety and called her lawyer. Ryan is a big guy, and she told me it was really scary. She added that she was on a leash. What's the difference between being locked up in a prison cell and then feeling locked in her own home and marriage? She didn't want to put up with it anymore. And I can totally see that, because again, like, he was breathing down her neck, and I was getting frustrated for her.
It's hard to hear stuff like when you're going through something and she tells you something, it's hard to hear. So as far as, me in her face screaming, if that's what she gathered from that, I hate that. But, it didn't happen quite like the friend said. And, it's just a disagreement, and it snowballed from there. Gypsy does struggle with PTSD from what her mother did. And I hit a trauma trigger that night, and she fled. And it was one of those where I saw it happened, and I immediately stopped and tried to check on her. And by then it was like that fight or fight PTSD moment happened.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that she's probably fighting with her new boyfriend now. Sometimes women, look, okay, I know, again, I don't know what she went through when she was, a child. I've never been through that, right? But sometimes women like the fight. We just do. Like, come on, let's not pretend like it's not true. I just think that she was looking for a way out. I think that when she got out of jail, she took one look and she was like, I don't feel like being with him. Like, I just want to do me. Like, I just want to do me. I feel weird, and then of course it's a weird thing. Like, you've been in a controlled environment for like 8 years, and now you're outside and in a car, and like, so it is a lot. But I know I'm a chick, like, when you're hype about somebody, you can't get enough of them, even if you were in jail, especially because you were in jail for 8 years.
And that's what happened. I hit a trauma trigger, and it just never stopped.
Now, I could totally see something triggering Gypsy. Like I said, she's a very interesting person, almost like a case study, and you have to be very patient with trying to understand how her mind must work. He did admit to getting upset during their final argument, saying Gypsy said some hurtful things, and I did get angry. I got upset. It's hard to hear stuff when you're going through something, but then she tells you something, so it's hard to hear. So I guess she's telling him the truth, and he could not handle it. As far as me in her face screaming, if that's what she gathered from that, I hate that. It didn't quite happen like the friend said. So he's saying that it did not go down like aggressively or violently, but clearly he recognizes that he struck a chord. Not saying that Gypsy is a victim here, but this is a relationship. This is a part of people getting to know each other. During his interview with ET, Ryan wavered when asked about the future of his relationship with Gypsy. He revealed that the estranged pair have stayed in touch since their split, but nothing like all night on the phone talking. He said, but we still communicate. He also shared that he was confused when Gypsy DM'd him recently to show off her new look. After having cosmetic surgery and changing her hair and getting highlights and cutting it off, I guess she wanted to check in with her ex and let him know that she's doing better without him. It's like we're all watching Gypsy Rose go through high school together. He said, I question to this day, it makes you wonder, with Gypsy, you always get mixed messages. However, he said he has no desire to talk things out with Ken, Gypsy's ex-fiance and now current boyfriend. Ryan's also confused that Gypsy was so quick to reunite and rekindle a relationship with Ken, her ex, because she was just married to him. Now, Ken and Gypsy had their thing back in 2019. They got engaged, but he got a little psyched out by marrying or potentially marrying a felon. So he ran. Ryan said, I'm blindsided about how fast it was. It was like, I'm going to go stay with my parents for the weekend. And then it's like, I'm never coming back. To now I'm with Ken and I'm in love with him and he's my soulmate. And you were just married to me a week ago. So his feelings are valid here.
You didn't really know that she was.
His feelings are definitely valid, but again, like, this is not shocking at all. And if you look at Ken, he looks like a totally different kind of guy. Plus he left her before. Like, it's this other thing too, where women like to be treated bad. I know how I sound saying this. Obviously not all women, right? But before you figure yourself out, you allow certain things to happen and you almost like look for it, if that makes any kind of sense. So Ken left her before, it's kind of like he's not all up on her maybe. So then she still feels like she can have that challenge, something to fight for. Whereas this guy, he's here ready to be with her, but that's not where her heart is. But her sending him that picture just shows you she still wanted some attention. I wonder if Ken probably didn't say much about her new look. I don't know, but it was definitely a attention-seeking behavior, and to say like, oh, I'm showing my ex that I'm better off without you. Yeah, but you left him. So that's kind of weird. It's like there's no need to he didn't do anything. He really she probably was yelling at him and telling him, I don't love you no more or something like that. And then he yelled back. But if this is what it is, you don't even need to show him that you're doing better. I thought you don't like him anymore. What are you doing? So
It was continuing correspondence.
Correct.
With Ken. You were not aware of that.
Not at the time, no.
When did you find out?
After she left.
Did she tell you?
Yes and no.
What does that mean?
I mean, like, after I was confronted, I confronted her about it, and she told me the truth.
guys, if you're still watching, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please hit that notification bell. Thank you.
So someone else told you?
I saw them got together. That like I saw a picture and all that.
When it comes to Ken and Ryan meeting, Ryan said that he doesn't want to see me. He doesn't want to catch me in public. That's all I'm saying. So it sounds like Ryan is ready to throw some hands at Ken over Gyp Chip. I don't know what power Gypsy has, whatever specialty she has, delicacy, because these men are fighting over her. I like how this article...
They're not fighting over her. Like, he's just mad, and he has every right to be mad.
Brings up that he's a teacher. They write, the teacher had no comment when asked what he would tell Ken if he watches the ET interview. However, he did have some words for Gypsy, saying she knows what happened. She knows the truth. Even though there are some hard feelings, Ryan insisted that when it came to their relationship, love was never an issue. The love that me and Gypsy have for each other will never go away. We still care about each other and we still love each other. Just things got in the way. I just question things to this day. When me and Gypsy speak, I'm going to have my moments where I'm like, maybe, but you never know. Despite the love that remains, Ryan is no longer wearing his wedding ring, and he got candid with ET about the moments that took a serious toll on him. I mean, I get it. Ryan never anticipated becoming like a reality TV star. He said, there's so much damage that's been done, those matching tattoos that Gypsy got with her her fiance or ex-fiance Ken, he said that killed him, and that's one of the things that was very permanent. You can't take those back, which that's such a good example because it's true. Like that's a true permanent thing she's done, and you can't take it back. He also does blame some of this on the series.
Yeah, I mean, and he's right. Like it's like, yeah, and of course, outside influences still got involved. He is still processing what's going on. I was just about to say, I'm like, what was the series going to be like? Oh, we get along every day. We have breakfast in the morning. We go out walking. We go out for a run. We come back home. We, make love, and then we watch the TV and make dinner. Like it's not going to be the same thing every day. Of course, the conflicts, the issues that arise, it makes for good television. So
I didn't
like
realize
it's just like this is now part of your life when you are doing reality TV, where your life is kind of controlled. But let me see if he shows her new look a little bit more. This is definitely old footage that we've talked about, but we definitely can go ahead and look at this is his own thing. We definitely can go ahead and take a look at Gypsy Rose's new look. But like I said, I'm not shocked about any of this stuff that has happened with Gypsy Rose and Ryan. I saw it coming. She was just a little too, I just saw it coming. So it's not even like anything to like really lose your mind over. But yeah, Gypsy is definitely, like, let's keep it real. She's doing her thing, and this is just what it's about. Let's share to this tab instead. Gypsy Rose Blanchard shows off glam, a new look in TikTok return. So you definitely see the change, the face, the highlights, the look, and everything. This is a nice picture. This is nice. Definitely, she's doing her thing. There's actually a picture of her standing up I wanted to show you guys. So let me go back here. Share to this to have instead. Holds on. And then this is her. This is for the premiere of the new show. And she just got a full makeover. So there you go. That's it. She's living her best life. Doesn't matter what happened, with mom. It's okay. She came out of jail. She's been doing interviews. She's got a reality TV show, because this is normally what happens. Listen, at the end of the day, I can't sit here and say that a person who did their time shouldn't be able to live their life after, but it's just like, this is still not normal. We keep, acting like this girl didn't straight have somebody with a mental defect off her mother and then pretend like, it was all his idea. I have a problem with that. I understand. I would probably more understand if it was like in the moment that she just lashed out. But I was, like I said before, Gypsy has had moments of like, where to me towards the end or whatever, where she was cool with it because they were getting free stuff. Like, I'm sorry, like after a while, it's the whole dynamic. I've talked about it on the channel, but whatever. Shout out to Gypsy. She's doing her thing, I guess. Shout out to Gypsy, right? She's on the Kardashians. It's just all too much. This is the clown world we live in, but whatever. We'll talk about it. It's all good. It is all good. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.